Hello, hello. We are back again for some more adventure. Once again, I'm in my backyard playground off of 94. This is Marron Valley Road. This goes back to the Otay Mountain Wilderness area. But I'm going to go on a stretch today that I haven't explored yet. This goes by the rifle range, and you can pick up the Otay Mountain Truck Trail to the right up here. We've been on that. I have some other previous videos on that. It's a good trail ride. But I'm going to stick on Marron Valley Road and check it out. It's going to take us very, very close to Mexico. I think it'll stay pretty much like what you see here, sort of a hard-packed dirt road, which is all good. I like these kind of roads, fire roads. If you've watched any of previous videos, you know I'm not a super motocross guy or anything like that. I don't do a lot of single track. But there's a real mixture of stuff around here. I was hoping to get out here a little earlier, but you know, it was a lazy morning and it was overcast. The sun's breaking through now. It'll probably heat up, but it'll be okay. You just got to bring plenty of water with you. And as you can see, I'm not flying on this road. I'm in no hurry to catch up to that Jeep up there and have to eat his dust. So a lot of times there's a lot of Jeep travel on this on account of the truck trail. If that's the case, I just back off and I let people go, because I think I'm going to just pass them. This road has actually gotten bumpier. I don't know why, because we haven't had any rains to rut it out. But I don't remember it being as rutty. Like small little continual, like pencil bumps, like speed bumps. It's a pain in the ass. Pretty country out here. It's going to be getting browner and browner. I'll hope not to try. I looked on the typo map online, and if I pretty much stay to the right and to the right, it'll eventually wind out to Alta Road or Alta Road, which I've been on before, so I sort of know that area a little bit. And then you can pick up, I think it's 95, and you go west, and then you can grab 805. But I don't remember this road with all of these freaking speed bumps. From time to time they do resurface it and dump a bunch of new gravel on it. That's what it's in dire need of. Don't know how much traffic's going to be out today. Last weekend I wasn't out. I forget. In the last couple weekends I've been out on here, and it was fairly busy. Now here's the rifle range up here to the right. I've never seen it opened. South Bay Rod and Gun Club. And up here to the left, there's a staging area, as you can see. People bring their toys, and you can park your rig there and take your ATVs or dirt bikes and go from there. I got a line on another really cheap Suzuki DR350, but it wasn't street legal. They made an off-road model. It is in really good shape. And they're only asking like $1,000 for it, but the deal is it's the trail version, which is okay, but in order for you to make it street legal, you have to jump through a bunch of hoops, and I'm not sure if you can even get the wiring harness and, like, you know, the turn signal buttons, horn buttons, and all that stuff for this particular model. You might find it, if you're lucky, on eBay, like some new old stock, but I don't know. I haven't really did the research on that, but I know other people that have taken like enduro bikes and tried to turn them into street legal. Some you can, some the DMV says no way, we're not gonna do this. You know, there's all kind of weird rules. But if you can't get the necessary, I mean, sure you can get turn signals, sure you can get, you know. Now here is the road to the right here that you take. That's the truck trail right there. But this stays Marron Valley Road. So this is what we're going to explore. If there's no gates, if we can stay on this and it doesn't look like we're getting into hostile territory, we'll check it out. That's a private house there. I respect people's private property. I don't trespass where it's obviously, you know, someone's yard. And you got to respect people's property. There's a lot of dirt bike guys that think every road is their road. And that's what makes it bad for the whole sport in general. That's why so many places you can't ride, because people don't like what some of the dirt bikes do to their roads and their trails. You know, some people really tear the shit up. Now, I don't know what that little, I think that little road down there is the same as this road up here, but we'll see. Now this is the real soft pebble shit, which I'm not a real huge fan of. So that's why I take it easy. I'm not anticipating a lot of traffic, but you never know, and sometimes these blind curves, you don't know who's going to come whipping around here. I take it easy. But most people don't ride like I do. But, you know, as you know, I have a really bad back, so I don't like to drop my bike all the time because it's hard for me to pick it up. I mean, I can pick it up, but I risk pulling my back out. But I started swimming again, and that really helps. If you have a bad back, you should swim laps. It strengthens the muscles, and it really helps your back. So that's why I've always been into swimming. I saw a bunch of targets over there, so there must be people that shoot back here. I don't hear any shooting today. That one weekend I was back here and it was like I heard all this plink, plink, plink. I don't mind people shooting. I'm not anti-gun or anything like that. As long as they're not shooting at me, go for it. This looks like a movie set. See, there's somebody else's targets over there, up to the left up there. People shoot. I think it's sort of cool if there's like a little creek and you can shoot into the water, because then you can see if you're too high or too low, or you can see where the bullet's going. But at this time of the year, any creek beds are going to be pretty freaking dry. So far there was only that one split off back there, and I don't know if I really should have gone to the right or not, but we'll see where this goes. We're not really doing anything the rest of the day, so we can afford to get lost. We got 4 gallons of gas. That goes a long way on a DR350. I can feel the temperature heating up. I know some people, this is just way too boring of the kind of trail. They don't like these kind of roads. They like all that technical, single track, gnarly stuff with big, you know, rocky hill climbs, but, you know, it's all what you're into. I know a lot of people that I know a lot of bikers that have never been off the pavement in their life. There's the cruiser crowd. I mean, you're not going to take a cruiser back here. You know, there's the sport bike crowd that likes to go as fast as possible and all of that. But if you've ever ridden a sport bike, you know the posture that you have to be laying down on a bike is not exactly ideal if you have a bum back. So every time that I've borrowed or ridden, you know, sport bikes, it's like, man, I'm glad to get off of this thing. They're just not comfortable. Yeah, they're fun to carve the twisties, you know, do a little twisty action on them. Now you see, this is what I was talking about. So we might have to go back to see. This land is closed to public access. Now I'm not, if I really wanted to get by there, you know, I could probably get by there. But I'm just not going to deal with it. So I'll go back to that other and explore to see where that other tributary goes off of. Now there is a little tiny little, I see a trickle of water down there. I don't want to pay attention or I'll end up going down there. Now I don't know if this is closed just for that bullshit virus or whether, you know, for other reasons. But I do know that the truck trail is open. But I'm going to go back to that other and see if we can get through there. You know, if not, it's okay. But you know, if a gate is locked, I don't bring bolt cutters and cut it. Because there's places you can ride. You just, you know, you have to do some research. And a lot of times just riding around you can find other places to ride, you know, like off of 94. Like the last time I went all the way out to Potrero, I saw, you know, quite a few dirt roads off of that. And at another time I will investigate those. So right in this area there's a lot of dirt road action. Just depends on what kind of riding you like. Some people like to go further out in the desert and ride in the sand dunes. I'm not into that. I'm not a real big fan of sand. Certainly not the dunes where you have to wear those guppy tires. Just not into it. I like hard-packed desert. I really like it if there's like rivers by. That's why I like when I was living up in Oregon. Oregon's got some awesome places that you can find trails like this, and they run right next to like this awesome river that's got rapids, and you can swim in it, you can fish in it. It's really cool. I didn't get to explore too many trails in Oregon because I didn't have this bike at that time. I had my street bike. And you're not going to do this kind of riding on a street bike. But yeah, Oregon's got a lot of good trails, especially around Bend, Eastern Oregon. Out on the coast, they do have that place, that's the sand dunes on the beach, like above Coos Bay. There's sand dunes, but there again, you know, I'm not a super big fan of riding in sand. I was first introduced with sand riding on a heavy bike. It's when I had my KLR, you know, the John Deere on 2 wheels. And you know, I had it packed because I was camping at the time. So at that time, my bike had to be pushing 550 pounds in that area. So, I mean, you know, you drop your bike a few times in the sand, you're fucking exhausted. Not for me. I like these little 250s. This is a 350, but I like this size of bike. See, now there's the truck on that other road which I'm going to go on. I just saw the back end of that. See the truck there? So that's got to tell me that there's something going on that part of that road. If somebody's coming out, well, maybe maybe it's open, maybe it's a throughway. But this is how you learn. You go and you just explore and you figure out what's what. I'm gonna let him get the hell out of the way. I don't know where he's going. He's just driving around like I am. But it's a good sign that he came out of here, unless I mean, this could be blocked also. I don't know. If I knew he was going to go down there, I would have told him you can't get through. So if he goes down there, see, that's the beauty. If you're on a bike, I mean, you can get in and out of anywhere. If you're on a bigger vehicle, especially like, a pickup doesn't have the same turning radius as a Jeep. At least they have these mirrors on all the blind turns, so that's a plus. Now that's the second vehicle I saw on this road, so that somewhat tells me that maybe this road is an open road out to civilization. I don't know. I see another vehicle up here on the left. Any of you people watching, if you're familiar with where I am and you know of other trails, roads like this around here, let me know. Send me the coordinates. Give me the information, because this is the kind of stuff that I like to explore on. And this is where I am right now. This is like 24 miles from where I am in Spring Valley. So it's relatively close to San Diego, and as you can see, you're like, there's nothing out here. You couldn't find a more social distant place than this. That's what cracks me up. They say, oh, we got to keep the parks closed. We can't spread the disease. How the fuck are you going to spread anything out here? Jesus Christ. There's so much insanity with all this virus crap. I don't even want to start talking on it because it gets me crazy. And people are so stupid, they believe it. But you can make people believe anything. If you give them enough fear, they'll believe anything. Now you see that rock shit there? I'm not into that. If I didn't have a bad back and I was like 30 years old, hell, I'm down for it. But, like I told you before, I try to stay in tune with reality and stay with what I'm capable of handling. And then I have the best chance of coming home every day. And I know that might sound dramatic to people, but we did have a fatality out here a couple weeks ago, and it was a dual sport rider that supposedly, was a well-seasoned rider. He was not a rookie. I don't know all of the details, but I do know that, he lost his life, and that's very unfortunate. See, there's all these other little dirt thingies, but there's just tons of other little dirt trails out here, but I'm going to stay on this hard pack only because I think common sense tells me that this will have a way out or back to, so that I don't have to backtrack everything. Some of these other dirt trails are just dirt trails, or some of them are like SDG&E, like roads to maintain power lines, although I don't see any power lines. But you see, you're pretty high here. I'm going to say easily, you know, 2,800 feet. Some of these surrounding mountains, they peak out at like 4,500 feet. Like on the truck trail, there is a summit past Dogbone Junction or whatever it's called. And I think that summit, I was up there last weekend or a couple weekends ago or whatever, and it's about 4,000 some feet is the summit. Very good view. You can see out over Otay Lakes. It's very pretty. I recommend going up there. I'm surprised I haven't seen any Border Patrol agents, because this is their turf. I'm gonna stay up here, take this high ground route. Now I see another gate. I don't know if it's going to be closed. It could be closed. So there's a chance that we may not be able to go where we really want to go. So I don't know. I see a gate and that doesn't look particularly too inviting. But we'll go until we can, and then, you know, go from there. I'm thinking if this is locked up here, which it looks like it is, I might go back and do the truck trail and go down the other way to Alta Road. Yeah, this is locked up, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to go where we want to go. Now, it's not locked, but, okay, if you go in there and you do find the Border Patrol or whatever, they can, with their discretion, they can write you a citation. And whenever I gate crash places, for some reason, I always find a ranger or somebody like that that's telling me, "Oh, can't you read signs?" You know. So I just don't want to deal with that, you know. I don't want the hassles. I don't want the bullshit. But this is still a fun little trail. The best way of dealing with a ranger or somebody with authority in a place like that is not to give them attitude and just say, "Hey, you know, I'm just exploring on my dirt bike. How can I get permission to ride here? I didn't know." But, you know, some of them are really sympathetic. Other ones have that RoboCop mentality. You know, where they're like, you know, "You in a heap of trouble, boy." All that bullshit. Now, if the gate is open, that's different. But if you have to physically open a gate and on the gate says, you know, you're not welcome, then it's, you know, you could end up with a citation. But you know, there's an awful lot of good rangers, there's an awful lot of good border patrol. A lot of people don't have the mentality like, you know, they want to throw the book at you right away. But you know, if it's indeed private property, you know, you got to respect it. So I don't go out and, you know, tell people to gate crash everything and ride around it, because sooner or later you're gonna run into somebody that's and like I said before, then it makes it tough on the sport in general. And then a lot of these places will stay closed to all riding, because if the landowners get pissed or whatever, you know, they'll keep it locked up. Now, I'm pretty sure this is in fact the road out that goes, and I have a feeling they might be closed because the road is like, really does border Mexico. It's like you can look over there and that's Mexico, kind of a thing. So the border patrol might just keep the road closed just so that, you know. Now, see those big flowers over there? I don't know what they are, but they're beautiful. I gotta pay attention before I end up in a damn ditch. Those were like super huge daisies. Well, there's no big adventure out on this part of the road today, but at least you know, you saw a little bit of where it goes, and now you know that both tributaries are going to have locked gates telling you to stay the hell out, unfortunately. Whether or not you choose to obey that, that is your call. I just don't have enough money in the piggy bank to pay citations. Little camping spot here. It's nice under the trees. Now some of this land here is BML land, and there is camping. Exactly where all those borders are, I don't know, because it didn't show that information on the map that I was looking at. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the truck trail to Dogbone Junction, make a left, go by the summit, and then take it all the way down to Alta Road. Hopefully that's all open, but we'll find out. I'm not necessarily wanting to go down to the campground, because that part of the road, it's actually easier to go up it than to go down it, because with all of the ruts, it's just easier going up than going down. certain parts of this road have like a couple inches of that real fine little gravel.